YouTube! Raptor here, back with the updated Blue Eyes deck profile. The reason I am doing this video is actually because I took this to a locals and I took first with it. So I'm really excited. It was actually the first time I ever took first place at a tournament. So I'm really excited for that. I figure I'll show you my card choices, which is going to be somewhat similar to some of the other profiles I've done before in the past. But yeah. I did not play anything meta whatsoever, which was kind of funny. I played Red Eyes, like a Red Eyes deck, a Dark Magician deck, and a UA deck for the final match. So I thought that was kind of funny, though, that I played Red Eyes and Dark Magician in the same tournament. And, you know, like pretty much first round Red Eyes, second round Dark Magician. Like that was just crazy to me, but I thought it was awesome nevertheless. Shout out to those players because they were fun to play, and shout out to the guy that took second, which if you look at my previous video, you can see the deck profile of that, so make sure to check that out if you have not already. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments, like, you know, what kind of videos do you guys want to see? Do you guys want to see more videos on this deck? Do you want combo videos? Like what would you guys like to see? But anyways, without further ado, I'll get started. So to start off with the main deck, of course, you know, triple copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon, heart and soul of the deck. As much as he is a brick, he is also a necessity. So definitely got to play 3. Definitely cannot play less than 3. No way, Jose. Next, 1 Dragon Spirit of the White. Yes. After playing in the tournament, I would say I would side deck this, not main deck it. Just kind of another choice I'm gonna opt to change. I'm not sure. My side deck's gonna change up a little bit after this too. I will say that I'm gonna start main decking Ash Blossom over this card. Ash Blossom at 2. But you guys are obviously free to make your own choices there. I do like this in the deck, but overall, like, it didn't turn out the way I thought it would, to where I really thought this would be a little bit more useful than it was. But I'd rather just side deck it, you know, because I don't know, if your opponent's not playing a back row deck, it's just kind of not as helpful in the deck. So one alternative, just one. He's a hard once per turn, and to go along with that, I play the 1 Malefic Blue Eyes White Dragon. A lot of people don't think about this card. This card is like your second alternative. All you have to do is have a field spell on the field somewhere. You don't even have to control it. You banish a Blue Eyes from your deck, and you special summon this for free. It cannot attack, or it's the only thing that can attack if you leave it here. But 9 times out of 10, you're looking to overlay or link away, make a link play. So that is why Malefic Blue Eyes is so good. And in combination with that, keep bumping the camera. I play 1 Chaos Emperor Dragon of Armageddon. Now, a really cool combo that I like to do with this is if you open up with a Melody, you can literally search this and this, especially if there's a field spell, and now you can pay play this in your Pendulum Zone, pay 1,000, add the Blue Eyes to your hand, and now you have Malefic Blue Eyes, this in your extra deck ready to summon, and a Blue Eyes in hand. So it's kind of like you got a 3rd search for free. So that's kind of what I like about that. And there's other cool little combos you can do having Chaos Emperor Dragon in there, so definitely would recommend him. 1 Chaos Dragon Legionnaire. All you really need is 1 searchable. Most times, you know, I open this, you know, opening hand, you know, start of the game, and it's a brick, but don't be afraid to get rid of it as well. You know, if you brick on it, just trade in Melody, whatever you got to do. Next, this is a change that I think I'm also going to make. I was running 2 White Stone Legend and 1 Ancients. I think I am going to bump this back up to 2 because I kind of missed the second one at times. But overall, I mean, they do what they do, and yeah. So next I'm playing Triple Sage, which this is another thing I'm going to cut. Probably, I'm thinking down to 1 or 2. I'm leaning more towards 2 at the moment, but I could still go back back down to 1. My reason for 3 though is, you know, even if you open up 2 in the opening hand, like, it's not a problem, because you normal summon the first one, get the search, and then you use the second effect to send both of them to a special summon a level 8 out of your deck. So it's not a bad thing. I just don't have, you know, like the 2 stones are my only targets, so I tended to run out of targets for this to search. But you know, and you could also play Effect Veiler too, which, you know, is searchable, but I didn't want to get too cloggy with hand traps. Next, 2 Starliege Seafort. This card is, not gonna lie, really phenomenal in this deck, because you literally get to take any of your level 8s, whether it be Blue Eyes, Alternative, Dragon Spirit of the White, you clog on this and this, like, you just you normal summon this, discard whatever level 8, and search the other thing that you need, whatever it may be, and you fill up your graveyard with lights and darks for these 2. So this is really mandatory in the deck, I feel like. You could play this at 1 or 2, but I am really liking it as a 2 of, so that's why I play that at 2. And its recurring effect in the grave says that you can banish it from the grave to add 1 light or dark monster back to your hand. So that's actually really helpful too. You can recur your Chaos Dragons or anything like that if they end up there. Next, we're still running the Invoked engine, so I play 2 Alistair. I still think 3 would be a little cloggy, but you can run it if you want at 3, but I do like it at 2 still. And then the last monsters, 2 Galaxy Soldier. I still think this is very relevant. You special summon it basically by sending a light from your hand to the grave, and it searches the other one, and even if they negate this effect, you know, no harm, no foul, you just link it away. And you can, you know, reborn it or try to revive it later. So yeah, moving on to the spells, play 1 Instant Fusion. I will go over the targets for this, or I should say the 1 target. I'm down to 1 target for this, but I will explain that when I get to the extra deck. But I still think Instant Fusion is very necessary to play. 1 Terraforming, and we've actually bumped up the field spells, I think, from last time, with 2 Meltdown, 1 Dragon Ravine, and the clutch card, Mystic Mine. I understand Mystic Mine is very degenerate. It's very, you know, not not a fun thing to play around if you have no outs to it. This deck though, I will say, you're not usually relying on this for game. Usually 9 times out of 10 you're doing more searching than your opponent, I would say, so your deck is actually smaller, so you literally don't usually win this way. What this does though is it allows you to, you play it, you build your hand up the way you want it, and then you go on the offensive by playing like another field spell over top of it, you know, getting rid of it, and at that point you make your comeback play. I've done this at least 3 or 4 times now with the comeback play, and I know at least once in the tournament it came up. So like through testing and everything, part of me wants to cut this because opening it up, you know, first turn, opening hand, going first, it sucks, but it's like the best recovery card you could ever ask for. So I would definitely go with 1 of that, just 1, none on the side. Next, Triple Melody, because I mean, it's Melody, searches all your dragons, get your plays going, so I would definitely do that. Next, 3 Trade-In. You know, you're playing what, 8, right around 8 or 9 level 8s, so Trade-In is very good. 1 Dragon Shrine, 1 Foolish. I could also see cutting the Foolish Burial. It really wasn't as helpful as I'd have hoped it to be, you know, with opening hands, so you know, kind of up to you on that point, but I do feel like the Foolish could, you know, has potential, but I also feel like there's better cards out there for the deck. Next, for the revival spells, playing 1 Return of the Dragon Lords, 1 Silver's Cry, 1 Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn, you know, it's free. I can't tell you how many times people make Dragoon, I get over Dragoon and I take their Dragoon, so Obviously Monster Reborn. Silver's Cry was part of the package for Dragon Spirit of the White, so this might get cut. But it's very, very nice to have Dragon Spirit of the White in the grave and activate this on your opponent's turn and, like, you know, chain it, banish one of their spells and traps, and then you can tag out with your Dragon Spirit of the White with Blue Eyes in hand. And then Return of the Dragon Lords also offers protection and revives all your dragons. So, gotta play it at least one. I will say, while we're here, I don't play this at more than one because I do feel like it clogs. You know, any more than one, I feel like it's too much. You know, I don't ever want to see more than one in my opening hand, especially going first. So that's why one of. For the last of the spells, 2 Invocation. 3 would be too many. 1 is almost not enough, just because, you know, a lot of times you normal summon Alistair, your opponent Ash Blossoms the Alistair, so now, you know, you have at least a chance to open another one without searching it, bait the Ash, bait the hand traps. Or, you know, I am playing the Link monster, so you can potentially search the other one out and get a double fusion summon in the same turn. So that's always nice. And to round out, for the last of the cards, I am playing double Impermanence. I still think Impermanence is the best hand trap in the game. Next to Ash, they're arguably, you know, hand in hand with being the best hand trap. Infinite Impermanence, though, I mean, with it being a trap, you can negate traps with Invoked Makaba. You can send this from your hand multiple times in a turn to negate monster effects. You can set it and negate the whole column. There's so many uses for Impermanence. I would play it at 3. I wouldn't knock you for playing 3. I just want my deck to move a little bit faster with the combos, so that's why it's at 2 right now. But anyways, moving on with the extra deck. And by the way, this extra deck is like super tight, so like I don't really know what changes to make, if any, right at the moment. But I am playing 1 Almirage, normal summon the Alistair, link it away. Now you have, you know, protection for your Makaba or whatever else you play. 1 Alistair, the Invoker of Madness. He's good for searching the other fusion spell. Sometimes I have opened up the fusion spell and no Alistair, and still went into him to make Makaba. So that is also a thing to keep in mind. 1 IP Masquerena. This card I am really liking. I really haven't played it much in the past, but I really do like it for this next card, which is Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, yeah. So basically what this does is it's a, you know, it's a summonable skill drain, right? You just play it and negates all your opponent's monsters effects currently on the field. You can also use one of your opponent's monsters as a material, which is really important. So basically on your opponent's turn, you are sitting on like an IP Masquerena and like 2 negates. Well, she's a link rating of 2, and then 3, 4, and then this is a minimum of 4, you know, 4 monsters plus. So you're gonna snatch whatever monster they play to interrupt them and make this. So it's a walking skill drain, and you can negate monsters, your opponent, from special summoning a monster from the graveyard. Which is kind of nice. And then also, it does have built-in protection of it's unaffected by your opponent's activated effects unless it targets. Well, IP Masquerena also gives it the protection of being destroyed by card effects. So, with that being said, it kind of has like double protection in that sort of case. So, I am really liking this combo. Highly recommend that, even if you know, you don't play Masquerena. It's still really good. This is my 1 instant fusion target. Millennium Eyes Restrict. I was playing Thousand Eyes Restrict and Millennium Eyes Restrict. I really feel like this is really all you need after a lot of playtesting, because this is essentially Called by the Grave for you without playing Called by the Grave. The difference between Called by the Grave and this is it gives you a monster to link away, versus if you you know, if you just play Called by the Grave, you literally play Called by the Grave and that's it. Like, it's done. You have nothing to work with on your field for a monster. So that's why I'm kind of opting for Millenniumizer Strict. You could also main deck a Called by the Grave. I do not, but I do think that this is basically Called by the Grave in its place. You could play Thousand-Eyes Strict to have it basically be your option of a Snatch Steal or a Called by the Grave. That's kind of my thought process behind that. But so far, I'm liking just having this. It's a little bit safer to get like your Melody, your Alistairs, stuff like that off. So definitely would highly recommend the Millenniumizer Strict for sure. Next, one Twin Burst. I can never bring myself to cut this card. It literally won me the last game of the tournament. So basically, it's a 2 attack. You know, it can attack twice. Can't be destroyed by battle, and banishes the monster if it doesn't destroy it by battle. So it's literally your Dragoon out if you need one, you know, an extra one, aside from all the other ones that I have. It's just, it works. You know, it's kind of, in my opinion, it's kind of the ultimate monster killer, you know, head-to-head battle-wise. So I definitely recommend the Twin Burst still. And then next, for the final fusions, I'm playing Double Makaba. I don't see the need to play Purgatrio anymore. He is good, but like the game is just, I don't know. I like Purgatrio. Don't get me wrong. Like I would love to play it, but like I just don't have space really. Because he can literally just win games by himself sometimes. So not that he's not a powerhouse, but I think just 2 Makaba. You don't need 3. I've never had an instance yet where I've needed a 3rd one and just not had it. So 2 is definitely fine. And unfortunately, True King of all Calamities is banned, so you know you can't do the original idea with making 2 Makaba first turn and going into Calamities. So that's unfortunate. But for the Galaxy Soldier package, I am playing the Infinity, you know, 2-card combo package, whatever. The cool thing about this is if you go into Nova and they stop it, get it off the field, you get to pull out a Makaba. That's a second effect. Like, you can special summon a machine type fusion monster from your extra deck if he's, destroyed by a card effect? Yeah, no, if this card in your possession is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 machine type fusion monster from your extra deck. So just sent to the graveyard, no matter what. So if they stop on the Nova, like you still have a recurring play, and then you go into Infinity, obviously you have a negate and basically a Snatch Steal. So I still think those are very relevant to play. One Galaxy has Prime Photon Lord, or Photon Lord, not Prime, sorry. This searches your Galaxy Soldiers, and it's a monster negate. So what I'll usually do is, you know, slap this on board and you know, kind of, usually I try to have like IP, this, and whatever else, you know, and then I can set up for Cyber Dragon Infinity next turn. But you're not going to be destroying whatever card you negate because you don't play Galaxy Eyes, Photon Dragon, or anything like that. So really, he's just kind of like your monster negate / searcher for Infinity if you need it. Makes it a little bit more consistent. And then definitely Dingirsu. I feel like any deck that can make a rank 8 should really play Dingirsu. It's, you know, it gets rid of Dragoon, it stops so many problematic monsters, has built-in protection for all of your cards. So very good there. Next, I am playing Draglubian, and the package I am playing is Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon and Hope Harbinger. Now the reason for this is because if you make Draglubian and this, chances are, my favorite combo here lately has been IP Masquerena and then Draglubian and this. So like you have a negate here, and then you can, you know, you can link away your opponent's monster with that. So like, you know, you have your IP up here, and you know, if you open like a really good hand, you know, you could be looking at a board kind of like this, maybe even with like more setup, but that's kind of the idea there. The reason for Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, because I'm sure people are going to be like, why would you play that? This is you're out to anything that is like super high attack power that you just still can't get over. Like this deck does pump out a lot of attack power, but there are some decks that still play like the 5-God Link Dragon that's unaffected by cards and 5k attack. Like this just kind of breaks that barrier. Like if you need something a little stronger, like you have it, but then like you can not be afraid to just use it for Draglubian's effect and put Hope Arbinger on the board instead. So that's kind of my card choices behind that. So that should be everything for the extra deck. Let's move into the side deck, which, like I said, is going to change primarily because I side deck 3 Ash. Basically for the FTK decks, like I said, I'm going to probably main deck 2 and still side deck 1. I just don't know what my other card choices are going to be for the side deck. But yeah, this is the exact build I played this weekend, or this past weekend, so I figured I'd share it to a T. Next, Triple Kaiju. It's just an out to Dragoon and other problematic stuff, and it still works with trade-in, and yeah, so that's kind of what I thought there. And there's no way for your opponent to negate the Kaiju, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're getting rid of their monster regardless. You know, I don't even think you can Solemn Judgment a Kaiju. I don't think you can. Or if you do, I think your opponent would still lose the monster for the tribute. So so there's that. Double Twin Twister for the back row decks. I never sided this in, but I still like it. I still think it's very, very viable, especially if you go up against like a Mystic Mind deck. You want to have an out to it. Triple Anti-Spell Fragrance to slow down Pendulum decks, primarily. But obviously you can slow down decks that play more spells than you. So, there is that option. Triple Evenly Matched. I feel like this is the best side deck card to game. Really puts things back in your favor if your opponent just, blows you out of the water. Has like 10 cards and you only have like 2 or none. Preferably none. So definitely played 3 of this. Nothing more to say really. And then for the last card, the Last Impermanence, just to kind of help with a little bit more with the FTK decks if they do come up, because when they do, it's definitely not fun to just sit down and lose first turn. So definitely wanted to have some outs for that. And I feel like Impermanence and Ash are kind of the best 2 cards for that. So but anyways, let me know what you guys thought down below. Let me know if you guys got any suggestions, because I am thinking about changing up the deck a little bit. I'd also like to do a Chaos Max build at some point, but it's kind of cloggy really. So but yeah, I'm still trying to work on that a little bit. So thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Peace.